Deeprock Galactic is a game. One of my favorite games, to be exact. This game deserves more videos made on it in my opinion, so this is me doing my part. The fact that the devs are so committed to making this game become the best version of itself, with no nonsense, is worthy of praise and is one of the few stories of early access that you can point your finger at and go, yeah, this is pretty good. I'll be playing the game's soundtrack throughout this review, as listening to it will do it more justice than merely talking about it.
Let me in. Let me in. Deeprock Galactic, a game a little over a year old at this point, but still not yet released. When I first saw Kraken's video on the game and played it shortly after its launch, it was already a complete game to me. A basic game at the time, but the core gameplay loop was already fun enough as an arcadey experience. Sure, everybody had ideas as to how it could be better, or guesses as to what it was going to receive in more content updates, but in all honesty, the game at its base level was already so much fun. Repetitive, but fun. And then the devs of Deeprock over the course of the next year decided to grace us with frequent content updates, bug fixes, and various other additions that turned the game from good to great. And recently, from great to a solid 10 out of 10 for me. But I don't like rating things as a number, because it doesn't do it justice. So let me tell you why Deeprock Galactic is worth your time, and more importantly, your money. When it comes to games I love, and I mean really love, you can't just have a core gameplay loop that's merely enjoyable. But to be a game that you will always swear by and sing its praises, you gotta have character. The noise your character makes there.
Games nowadays might be well made. They might have mildly interesting stories, or, on the other hand, might even lay the plot on as thick as possible. They might have many fans or a long history of sequels, but at the end of the day, no one will remember a game if it doesn't possess character. Here, allow me to describe character to you as simply as possible. The games I just showed you should give you a good understanding of what character is. Character is what defines a game as unique. It might be the same genre as other games, and it might even outright copy some other games. I mean, strip away all the character from Deeprock and it's just described as Left 4 Dead meets Minecraft. Do the same with Terraria and it's just side-scrolling Minecraft. Do the same with Halo and it's just another shooter. Now what's Deeprock like as a game that has character?
Guys, are you blind? Look over here. Lighting! Sentry gun, need assembling. Sentry armed!
Drop is inbound.
Suck on this, you freak of nature!
Fair warning, any vandalizing or destruction of company property will be deducted from your pay at the end of the month.
None can stand before us! Grabbing ammo.
So, what is Deeprock all about? Well, you play as a space dwarf, a power-armored space dwarf, each wielding different in use but equally useful weapons as a method to dispatch and defend yourself from a variety of dangerous bugs indigenous to the planet your mining rig is orbiting, named Hoxes. Your mission, should you choose to be assigned it, is to burrow into the surface of Hoxes and either mine or collect valuable resources that the corporate hell of a company that you work for has tasked you with. Strange alien eggs? They'll want that. Glowy space rock? You better mine it. The company is so good at cutting costs that they won't even send you more supplies unless you collect enough nitra, or as I like to call it, gun juice. And if you die, it's no biggie, they'll just send in another mining team after your haul.
This is a salvage mission. A previous crew lost their mini mules, their drop pod, and their lives in this cave. Find and repair the lost mules, get the drop pod operational, and return to base. Expect heavy infestation, and try not to mess it up like your former colleagues.
Truly a corporate hell I can get behind. Each dwarf is unique in their own way, and they all fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. For instance, there might be some delicious gun juice on the ceiling. How do you access it? Do you drill all the way up to the top of it, risking your life by potentially falling to death, or maybe having an explosive bug come up from behind you as you're digging? Or, as the gunner, you could waste a valuable zipline to connect to it. Or, you could use a very conservative platform gun to provide you with footing so that your team's scout can get it for you. Pick the engineer and make the filthy scouts do all the work for you. And if they don't like it, have your driller freeze them on the way to the drop pod. The enemies in Deeprock might seem basic on the surface, but each one is designed with a specific goal in mind. So, when the game throws many of them at you, the choices of what to kill can be overwhelming at first, but an experienced squat is able to prioritize what's truly dangerous and what is of no consequence. Learning the difference between a Praetorian and a grunt can save your life. In all honesty though, I may joke about that, but the key to surviving swarms on the hardest difficulties is killing what is most threatening. 1 or 2 acid spitters are dangerous, but not a big problem, quite manageable. But if a glyphid menace appears, which is pretty much a super acid spitter, you're in trouble. Everything about Deeprock over its development cycle so far has refined the gameplay experience to a T. The game originally was very basic. Get some friends, or none if you have none, queue up a mission where you either mine Morkite or collect eggs. Then enter, mine, kill bugs, escape, and upgrade your character with the unique materials that you found in the world. Pretty simple. But that is no longer the case. Allow me to show you what's changed and what you can look forward to. Alternate weapons that change your playstyle. There's also a Storm Bolter, so you can purge the enemies of the Imperium, one vile Xenos at a time. The original few enemies of the game have been upgraded and massively changed with new additions that change the way you approach every single encounter. Art style improvements. What used to be a basic looking skin and one alternative skin has now been replaced with unique, stylized sets of armor that perfectly fit within the world, despite the fact that they are much higher poly than the previous sets of armor. Every starter weapon got a redesign as well to match the new ones. Customization went even further, adding beards, recolors, skins that you have to earn the hard way and not pay money for, with one very agreeable exception. Which you should buy, by the way. New UI, new sounds, new missions, a fucking bar with hilarious beers, most of them novelty, but some of them even buff you up, and they're hard to get, so they're perfect late game buffs.
Cheers, Mike!
Rock and stone.
Move it, guys! We're going planet side!
Weekly assignments, mission modifiers, like more deadly bugs, all the way up to a dangerous ghost that will haunt you throughout the entire match, and is completely unkillable. One of the modifiers even makes the bugs drop gold when they die. There's even low gravity. Updated the game's boss from a pushover to a real threat. Biome changes, so that the old biomes now are no longer just reskins of each other. Each biome has a unique identity with strengths and weaknesses that you and your squad will have to brave through in their own unique ways. Just like the ice biome, where everything freezes you and is dangerous, or the radiation biome, where exploders and Praetorians now charge the area with radiation, which will slowly kill you. New alternate grenades as well, so every class has 3 different and useful grenades to choose from. And that's not even including the last 2 updates, the Endgame updates. What sent Deeprock from great to amazing amazing is its last two updates, Endgame Part 1 and 2, promising to make the game have more difficulty for hardcore players, aside from throwing in an extra difficulty setting. So how do you make the game a lot harder so that the people who are really good at it still have something to do? And then, what can you offer to make them do that and enjoy it? The first answer to that dilemma was deep dives. Deep dives are weekly missions that are 3 missions stacked on top of each other. You will play each one back to back, with all your health, ammo, and resources being carried over. Lose one stage of the mission and you're out. Go back to the main menu and collect a small reward. But win, and you get it all. A massive reward in XP, money, resources, and the key thing that even made you want to do it in the first place, unique skins that you can't unlock the normal way, and playstyle changing weapon overclocks. Collecting overclocks can give you something minor, like an increase to ammo, or change the way a weapon works entirely. For example, the grenade launcher for the engineer goes from a slight pushover of a weapon to a mini nuke. And that was just part 1 of the endgame updates. Part 2 added machine events, random encounters in any mission that reward you by turning in blank matrix cores, which you may or may not have found previously, into skins or weapon overclocks that you get to choose from upon completion. The sound in the game is amazing too. Aside from the music, which is already amazing, every weapon, action that you take, digging, all of it has very satisfying, dopamine-inducing sound effects attached to it. I mean, just listen to the way the engineer reloads his shotgun. Combine all of these great and amazing elements together, and you're left with a game that has a huge amount of replayability, the opportunity for fun and unique, rewarding experiences with your friends. It feels like no mission is quite the same, with the game's everlasting and ever-changing variety. Add in a cooperative community and devs that really listen, and the promise of more content to come. And the game isn't even released yet. Just combine all of that, and you have one of my favorite games made in recent memory. I'm Flex, and modern day video games are ruining what made the old video games good. Looking to the future, it seems like nothing more than loot boxes, battle passes, and more content delivery systems like Fortnite and League of Legends. So it's always nice to see a game like Deeprock putting along. More of this, please. Thank you for watching.
Don't waste your ammunition!
Hard thrusters calibrated. Drop pod powered up and ready to leave. It's time to bring it all home. Get on board, we're leaving with or without you.
We are unbreakable.
Out of it!
Are you blind? Look over here.
Stop shooting me!
Like that.
Good work. We're bringing it back in.